Thanks for taking a moment to learn more about this month's Soul Priority Update. The ministry is doing fine. Meetings have gone virtual on Google Meet or Zoom. We're watching and discussing videos from the Right Now media platform. And we've continued to send copies of Work in the Light to individuals, churches, and corporations as seeds, hoping to grow the ministry and, of course, God's kingdom. But now, here's a Soul Priority Christmas thought for you. I think you'll know it, and I think you'll enjoy it. As all the cartoon characters run around trying to keep pace with all the demands of the Christmas season, the Charlie Brown Christmas reaches a high point when everyone in the program reaches a low point during the Christmas pageant preparation. Frustrated and disenchanted the way Charlie Brown always is, he asks, "Does anyone know the real meaning of Christmas?" That's when Linus steps forward and quotes from the famous Bible passage about the sleepy shepherds who are watching over their flocks by night, and they're suddenly visited by a stunning angel. And with words of encouragement not to fear and news of the birth of God's King, the sky fills with hosts of angelic warriors announcing the promise of peace and goodwill made to humankind as a gift from God's infant King. So, why break the good news to shepherds? I mean, really, why not make a big deal in Jerusalem or among Jewish religious elite or even King Herod? Well, it's really no surprise. From the beginning of the Bible through its last book, shepherds are always God's paradigm, God's picture of leadership. So, what does shepherd leadership look like? Well, good shepherds know their sheep by name, and their sheep know them too. Good shepherds exert absolute influence over their flock. The shepherd speaks, and the sheep recognize their voice, and they listen. Furthermore, good shepherds stand watch, or actually more accurately, they lay watch, so to speak, by sleeping or resting across the entrance of the sheepfold, becoming a human door, a human gate. No sheep gets out without disturbing the shepherd, but more importantly, no predator, no thief gets in without awakening the guarding and tough shepherd. One more thing about the Good Shepherd. They not only place themselves between threats and their sheep, they would die to protect the flock. I know, that doesn't make any sense to me either. But on a day-to-day basis, the Good Shepherd always knows the condition of their flock. Hungry, thirsty, tired, cold, frightened, threatened, wet, sick. They make it their business to know. So, this is where the Christmas story about good shepherds becomes good leadership practices. Let's face it, 2020 has been a year that has done its best to discourage and defeat everyone. In light of raging wildfires, bitter political partisanship, civil unrest as we wrestle with injustice, a parade of hurricanes, all compounded by the effects due to COVID-19, which has led us to working from home, virtual meetings, isolation, shuttered restaurants, closed cinemas, closed schools, closed churches, and e-learning, masks, hand sanitizer, and the ever-increasing numbers of the sick and the dead reported day in and day out on the news. Let's face it, it is overwhelming. So, with all that, what is the condition of your flock at work, your employees, your coworkers, maybe your partners? What is the condition of your flock at home, your spouse, your kids? You probably won't have angels filling the sky to tell you what to do, but then again, you know what to do. So, be the good shepherd, especially if you follow the one who is the good shepherd. So why not between now and Christmas or Hanukkah or the birth of a new year 2021, take a moment to ask your employees, your coworkers, how are you doing? And then take 2 moments to listen. Listen patiently. And lastly, take a fourth moment to pray. As a partner in both a secular business and then later as a partner in a business that was overtly kingdom focused, none of my employees ever balked at me asking how they were doing, how their kids were, how their spouse was. In fact, to my recollection, no one ever pushed back against me when I told them I was going to pray for them. If they sensed I was genuinely interested, they were open and thankful. So, what are you going to do between now and the end of the year? Yeah, be the good shepherd. And until then, Merry Christmas. And until we talk again, work in the light.